I just wanted to come down here and run my mouth and talk about the mess that's happening. Baby, it's a lot going on in these streets. Excuse me. How's everybody doing tonight? How is everybody doing? Hey, Miss Fancy Pants. Hey, where's my phone? Here's my phone. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. Hey, Canary. Hey, Jola Marie. Hey, KB and Elizabeth. What's up, Montrez and Teacup? Yes, we in that thing, baby. We in that thing. Hey, hey, D Rich and Nia and Melissa and Tanya. Okay. What's up? Tune in with Trey. What's up? Oh, baby. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Um, so Diddy is on trial, baby, fighting for his life. Okay, Diddy's on trial, fighting for his life. Um, I stick my head in and out of the Diddy trial. I only like to consume so much, but Judge Mathis was walking down the street the other day, and TMZ bumped into him. And so they had a few questions for Judge Mathis. And this is some of what Judge Mathis had to say about Sean Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy. What do you call himself? Love Combs, Sean John.
No, there's a lot going on right now with the Diddy trial. I seen a clip of you saying that if you were in charge over this case, you'll give him 5 to 10 years. I kind of want to know from what we've seen so far. What are your thoughts on everything?
Those are state charges. I would give him 5 to 10 years for the multiple assaults against women, and I think they've proven that he was involved with the arson, burglary, being in the man's house. You don't have to break in. You don't have to break anything, kick the door down. Just being in someone's house unlawfully without their permission is burglary. So I think those three things have been proven. But the state crimes and their statute of limitation has expired. So that is irrelevant. The federal charge is where I think only thing they have proven thus far in the RICO case is the interstate transfer of prostitutes. And perhaps now, from what I heard yesterday, from Jane, I believe it is, she suggested that interstate transfer of drugs for personal use. The prosecutor charged, however, in the RICO with distribution. Distribution is typically the sale, but in this case, they are charging for distribution, which I think is more like personal use. You send someone out to buy the drugs and y'all party off of it, as opposed to buying them and selling them or distributing them for money.
What do you think about Kanye showing up? So do you think that could hurt or help his chances in any way, or it doesn't affect the jury at all? What do you think about that?
I think it creates drama, more drama than we've seen already. So that's my assessment. It just creates drama. And I'm not sure whether that was intentional for Kanye to create drama or whether he's there to comfort and support a friend, which I think is fine. You should be there with your friend to comfort him. Even though he has done wrong, he has committed some heinous crimes, assaults against these women. But if I were a family member, I would be there to comfort him.
Okay.
Not
let me ask y'all a question. Y'all heard what he said, right?
defending, not stick up for what you've done. I would condemn him in private,
Right.
and I would support him in public.
So do you think Miami?
So let me ask a question. Okay. So this is the question that I want to ask, okay? If you had a family member, they were in the situation like Diddy, Puff Daddy. If you thought that they were guilty of all the things that these people are saying, or even half of what these people are saying, I'm not saying if you think they're innocent, because there are going to be some people who be like, girl, my cousin ain't did that, and I'm sticking beside him. But if you were in a situation where this was your family member and you thought that they were guilty, would you still show up to, I guess, in a way, comfort, support them, but then condemn them in private? All the stuff that Diddy has been accused of doing, if you were a family member and Diddy was your cousin, say Diddy was your cousin, Diddy was your brother, right? He was your family member, a friend, and you thought that he was guilty. With him being your relative or loved one, would you still show up to comfort and support him even though you think that he might be guilty? The only people that I am going to somewhat give a pass to, just listen to me, okay? The only people that I am somewhat gonna give a pass to, and that was after having a conversation with some of you, are probably his children. And probably his, I hate to, don't get mad at me, but the people like his children, even the grown men who probably rely on him financially, I can understand, especially the daughters. I could understand how they are in a situation where I depend on this man for my livelihood. So, what am I supposed to do for money? Shout out to Bernadine. What am I supposed to do for money? I could kind of wrap my head around that, because at first my stance was, if you're showing up, you support them. And after a conversation again with y'all, I was like, okay, that's not necessarily true. Because if the kids do rely on him financially, what are they? Now they're in this sticky situation where this man, girl, who's been accused of these horrible things, girl, that's how I live. So if I don't show up to court, then what if he cuts access to the money off? You know what I'm saying? So I can see it in that, through that lens. Yes, that's why I say even the sons. Even though the sons are grown, I can still see Puffy still probably, them probably still depending on Puffy financially, even with them being grown. We're not gonna sit here and act like, okay? We're not gonna sit here and act like Quincy, Justin, and Christian just got these banging careers, and Christian just this top rapper, and Justin is just this girl actor of all actors. Girl, I seen that nigga in Power. Girl, the one with Tariq. Girl, he was one of the students at the university. And we're not gonna act like Quincy, girl, you know. So I can still see, even with them being grown, that girl, they still probably depend on Puffy for a little shang-a-lang-a-lang. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me, if I knew someone and they were in Puffy's shoes and I thought that you were guilty, girl, I'm not showing up to court to comfort or support you because, girl, I think you're a mess now. If that was someone who I knew that was in Puffy's shoes and I thought that you were guilty, I'm not showing up to court to support or comfort you at all. Especially if I think you're guilty. It's one thing for you to think, oh no, I don't think that this is true. I think that he's innocent. It's one thing for you to think that. But if I think you're guilty, then go, why am I here trying to comfort and support you? I think you're guilty. And let's keep on going. Let's finish this. And I'm gonna go back to the celebrity friends. Oh shoot, hold up.
Well, it might hurt a little because Kanye is known for a very sexually charged lifestyle.
You think more of Diddy's friends should be showing support to him?
Comfort to comforting, yes. I think they should be showing just the comforting. You look out there, hey, I know the deal. So you look out there, you want to see somebody and make you feel good that they're supporting you, even though the worst might be on the way.
A lot of people say his daughter shouldn't be coming to the trial to support him. What do you think about that?
I think they're absolutely wrong. I think all of his family members, when they have an opportunity, should come there just to help comfort him. I know certain folks say, well, he doesn't need any comforting with the things he's done. And perhaps the general population should. You're right. I don't have any sympathy for him. However, their relatives, I think, should be there to comfort him.
And from what we've seen so far, your prediction of the outcome of the trial?
Well, thus far, I think all they've proven is 2 federal cases. And if they're unable to tie it into a RICO case, then he should be charged and perhaps convicted of those 2 lesser crimes, individual crimes.
But you think they'll be laying out more as the trial goes on?
I suspect. So if they're any kind of prosecutors, they got something coming.
I'm not mad at what Judge Mathis said. I'm not. I mean, his whole stance on the if you I don't think he really said anything necessarily horrible about the trial. I think he was looking at it through a lens of like federal. But the whole, if your family or if your relatives, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Kanye, y'all already know he popped up the other day, girl. But for the most part, I'm gonna go ahead and say this, girl. Nobody's going to that courthouse, especially if you are a celebrity. If you were even in attendance at the parties, not engaging, because I think that sometimes people think that just because you attended a Diddy party, that means that that they automatically link that to the freak offs. No, girl. Everybody could have been at the Diddy parties, but that doesn't mean that just because people were in attendance at the parties, girl, that don't mean that they also were a part of the freak offs. So I think that for a lot of people, they don't even want to say I partied with Diddy. A lot of people don't even want to say that they partied with Diddy, more than likely out of fear of people looping them into the freak offs. You know what I'm saying? Even if they were at the parties, they're not going to say it. I wouldn't. And if I was at a Diddy party, I would not tell anybody I was there. You're going to have to subpoena me. Okay? You're going to have to come and say, where were you at, girl? BET Awards, girl, 2022. Where were you at? Girl, I was at the BET Awards. And where did you go after the BET Awards? I went back to my hotel room. Girl, and then where did you go after your hotel room? I went down to the bar and had a drink. Girl, you're gonna have to force me to say it Then what did you go after you had a drink? I went outside to wait for my Uber. Girl, okay? Okay, what did you go after you, girl? Listen. I went to the Diddy party. Okay? And what happened, girl? Nothing happened, girl. I went for the free drinks and the niggas. Okay? I went for the free drinks and the niggas. That's all I know. I wasn't at no freak off. I was at the party. Somebody told me they could get me in, and I said, all right, girl, here I come. That's what happened, okay? Other than that, I don't know what was going on. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So yeah, again, for me, I'm not supporting anyone. I don't care if it was my grandmother, mama, sister, brother, nieces, nephews, best friends. I don't care. I'm not supporting anyone who I think could be guilty of the things that they allege Puffy has done. Again, I think it's different if you think that he's innocent, then girl, you can show up in support. The only people I really give a pass to are the people who probably depend on Puffy financially because their livelihood is at stake. The daughters really probably don't have a choice but to show up. I mean, technically, they just graduated from high school. So 10 times out of 10, they definitely still depend on their father. You know what I'm saying? So even if the little girls didn't want to go to court like the first week, they probably were forced to go. Hell, quiet as it's kept, even if the niggas, Quincy and the other ones didn't want to go, they probably were forced to go. Again, we're not going to act like they have these outstanding careers, girl. I'm sure they probably still hit up daddy for some money. But it is what it is. Shout out to girl, shout out to everybody at the at the at the courthouse. What's up? Make it make sense, girl. If y'all want all the details, girl. Make it make sense is down there doing the Lord's work, reporting on the details of what's happening in that courtroom, baby. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on. Listen. Oh, y'all. Nothing got about this. Oh, I put up a video earlier about Tyler Perry. Baby. Oh, Tyler. Oh, Tyler. Can I say something? Can I say something? I said this earlier in my video. Do I believe every accusation and allegation from alleged victims? No, I don't. Do I come down here and scream that the heifer or the nigga is lying? No, I don't. Do I probably have private conversations with, some of my friends and I say, girl, I think the bitch is lying? Yeah, I do. But I'm not going to come down here and necessarily say it. I think in the situation with Tyler Perry, though, just listen to me, all right? This is where we're at with Tyler. Even if Derek is telling the truth, people are not going to care because even though, especially black people are not going to care because even though we have these conversations about the work that Tyler Perry puts out, we have these conversations about, the stories that he decides to tell. Tyler Perry has done a great job at helping people. As he said at the BET Awards, I've made more black millionaires than any of these studios in Hollywood. So because Tyler already has this reputation of helping people and making black people millionaires and giving black people an opportunity in Hollywood, even if it came out to be the truth, I don't think people would care. Because even when Monique, the comedian, came out and said that X, Y, and Z happened to me at the hands of Oprah, Tyler, and Lee, a lot of people were like, girl, shut up. I was Team Monique from the get go. Be very clear. Even to the point when Monique released audio of her having a conversation with Tyler Perry, people still did not care. So, in my head, receipts or not, people not gonna care. Because as far as they are concerned, this is a takedown of the black man. This is the takedown of a wealthy black man. This lawsuit only came about because of straw. Can I say something? And maybe some of you can explain this to me. Because I saw too many people in the comment section saying that this lawsuit is happening due to the success of straw. Do you really think that because Tyler Perry added another successful movie to his resume, that this white man came forward with this lawsuit to try to take the attention away from Straw, a movie that's basically based on a black woman struggling girl the entire day? Do y'all really think that this lawsuit was put together? Tyler said, and I quote, I want BJ and biscuits. Make it make sense. Do y'all think that that they are trying to take away the success of Straw, and that's why this lawsuit happened? Even if you take away Straw, Tyler Perry would still be successful. Tyler Perry would still be a billionaire, even if you take Straw out of the equation. Y'all are acting like this was Tyler Perry's make it or break it film. And now they're trying to distract people with the lawsuit. Take away Straw, Tyler Perry was still Tyler Perry before Straw even hit Netflix. I don't think that this white man is suing Tyler Perry because he don't like the way that black women are being portrayed on the movies. Girl, so let me try to take the attention away from, girl, the black women and the way black people feel about Tyler Perry. Like that don't even like that don't even. Said he was a big D power top who hits G spots. Oh, thank you, make it make sense. Oh God. Listen, like I said, I'm not saying that Tyler is guilty or innocent, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to buy into the I giggled at the shot 4 times in the chest at the end of first season of Oval. Thank you, Angela. I'm not automatically going to buy into the oh they're just trying to take Tyler Perry down because of the success of Straw. Girl, no. No. I'm not going to buy into they're trying to take him down because he's a successful black man. No. Because let's be very clear. Girl, if it was a regular nigga who ain't have no money or have no goddamn job, y'all would still say the same thing. It ain't got nothing to do with Tyler Perry being rich. Because y'all do the same things for the Pookies in the Keiths and the James. Either it's gonna be because he a black man or it's gonna be because he a black man who rich. But the gag is, this is the gag, right? And this is where y'all mess up. When Christian Keys, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is where y'all mess up, and then y'all start to make it a race thing. When Christian Keys came down here and he said what he said, and he had everybody on a scavenger hunt, told that man, you're a cowboy who needs a sugar daddy. Thank you, make it make sense. When Christian Keys came down here, I didn't forget, so let me remind y'all. When Christian Keys came down here and he had us on that scavenger hunt and had us trying to figure out who was trying to bend him over and girl, make him touch his knees, we just go ahead and talk plain. Everybody was down to the motherfucking internet talking about it was Tyler Perry. Everybody assumed that Christian was talking about Tyler Perry. We're not even gonna sit here and play that game. Everybody assumed that Christian Keys was talking about Tyler Perry. Everybody was down to the internet, girl, with a ink pen, girl, and a piece of paper. And girl, like I said when I came down here, I said, well, girl, Christian. I said, Christian, girl, it ain't that many girl, first of all, it ain't a lot of black millionaires. It damn sure ain't a lot of black billionaires. And then when you start to even go to the next level, girl, it ain't that many black billionaires in Hollywood. So, girl, we can start to girl, it ain't gonna take that long to figure out who it might be. But even with the black billionaires that we do have, I will say that 99% of the comments, when they said who they thought that it was, everybody said Tyler Perry's name. So I don't know why y'all trying to get down to the internet now and pull it's the white man trying to take down the black man. Because when Christian had her ass down to the internet, having everybody, girl, go through hoops and loops to try to figure it out, once we did narrow it down, girl, most of everybody said Tyler Perry. Hello? And I dare somebody to say I'm lying. Hello? Ain't nobody got nothing to say? So y'all can play that game all day long if you want to. Y'all don't have no problem saying that he was the one who was over there, girl, telling Christian to bend down and grab his motherfucking ankles. Y'all don't have no problem saying that it was Tyler when Christian said a nigga knocked on his door and offered him $100,000 to strip butt ass naked. He wanted to see that body, yada, 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 yada. Y'all don't have no problem saying it was Tyler then. But now all of a sudden, it's a white man. Now the white man is lying. And he's trying to take down Tyler. Now he's trying to take down Tyler. Well, what the fuck was Christian trying to do then? And then we looked up and Christian ain't said shit and he came out with a skincare line. Hello? That was the gag. We looked up. Christian ain't brought his ass back down to the internet. Christian brought his ass down to the internet, caused all that chaos and confusion, disappeared. We looked up and that motherfucker had a skincare line. Am I lying? I might tell a joke, but I ain't gonna tell no lie. Am I lying? So all I'm saying is this. Okay? All I'm saying is this. I don't know if Tyler Perry did it or not. I wasn't there. Okay? Let me be very clear. I wasn't there. So I don't know what the nigga, if he did it or not. Okay? I was not there. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with it. To be very clear. But I think that it is hard for people. You know what I think? I think that it is difficult for people to believe that people who do great things for the community, people who do great things in the industry that they work with, that person, I'm not talking about Tyler Perry now, I'm just speaking in general, that person could also have this other side to them. Love your commentaries. You are so honest with strong morals. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you. So I think that's what's happening, right? It happened with Bill Cosby, right? Because Bill Cosby, did X, Y, and Z. So when all these women started to come forward, people were like, no, 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 no. That's not happening. Just because someone pays black actors more, hello, Tyler Perry, or donates $1 million to a HBCU, hello, Diddy, does not mean that person is incapable of being a sexual predator. Thank you, Carlos Harris. That's all I'm trying to get to. I think that you can help the community, girl, help the old woman and the old man cross the street. I think that you can pay people, more money than other people. But I also think that there can be a side of you that is just a terrorist. But I think what happens is when you hear about these men and women who do great things, it's then hard for people to even grasp or even consider that this other side that people are saying, it could exist. And just because we have an experience with somebody doesn't mean everybody has that same experience. And I've had to learn that too, right? I think we've all probably went down that road. You know how like you might hear somebody who says, girl, they were so fucking mean to me. And you'll be like, girl, for real, they was nice as hell to me. Like you don't really believe it because the person was nice to you. So when you hear this other person who says that this was my experience with this person, you don't believe it because you didn't have that experience. So if I didn't have that experience, then how did you have that experience? But that does not negate that, girl, that person still could have had that experience. Just because, oh, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Just because an employer is nice to these employees over here does not mean that he did not SA Keisha. Just because the boss, James, John, Karen, are nice to these employees does not mean that when Ashley went into his office, he didn't grab her by the pussy. You see what I'm saying? So just because it didn't happen to you or me does not mean it didn't happen to her or him or them. Your experience does not rule out everybody else's experience. And just because you did not experience what that person experienced does not mean that that person is lying about their interaction with X, Y, and Z. Because I could tell you my boss is nice as hell. But then if you go ask somebody else, they'll say, I can't stand the bitch. To me, she all right. To her, I can't stand the bitch. Hello? Thank you, Hello Inclusion. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. You know, the truth will come out, or girl, the truth, girl, may be buried. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Christian Keys. Christian Keys, where you at? I want to know where Christian at. Since we brought him up, where is Christian? Christian, where you at? Because baby, like I said, girl, Christian came down to the internet and girl ran his mouth for an hour, and girl said he had all types of recordings on pens. That's what he said. Girl, Christian said he had recordings on top of recordings on secret devices. Okay, that's what he said. That's what he said. Baby, we looked up and we ain't heard shit from Christian no more. And I'm telling y'all, I remember going to Christian Keys' Instagram page and he had come out with a skincare line that he said he had been working on. I think it was called Black Love or Black Skin Magic. It was something like that. But he definitely came out with a skincare line. And we ain't heard nothing else about those secret recordings. We ain't heard nothing else about nobody knocking on his door talking about take your clothes off. Because I said I would have did it. Rich. If Tyler would have knocked on my motherfucking door and told me to take my clothes off, you can't look, you can look, but you can't touch. Girl, I would have took my clothes off and girl got that $100,000. But bitch, I'm set up a different way. Bitch, I would have started buttoning this motherfucking jacket. Do you hear me? Okay? I would have buttoned this jacket, baby. And I would have got my clothes off. And them clothes would have been on that ground. And I would have got my $100,000. You know, but I'm a different type of hoe though. Christian Keys. I'm just playing. Christian Keys is in the same hiding place as Farnsworth Bentley. Right. Thank you, Lisa. Right. But for real though, shout out to all the boys and girls. Okay. Baby, look, don't touch. It's gonna cost you an extra $100,000 if you want to, girl, if you want to touch his thigh. Okay, it's gonna cost you an extra $100,000 if you want to touch my thigh. Now, if you want to grab my dick, it's gonna cost you another. Every body part you touch is gonna be an extra $100,000. Okay, I'm gonna get naked for $100,000. If you want to touch whatever body part you touch, it's an extra $100,000. Okay, and I need my money right now. I need my money. I ain't gonna be none of that. I'm gonna send it to you when I leave. Absolutely not. You got the game fucked up, girl. I need my coin. I need my shalang-a-lang-a-lang right now, girl. Right now. Ain't gonna be none of that. I'll send it to you when I get home. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I need my coin this second. Or you can get the fuck up out my apartment. Be very clear. You want to see some ass? Okay. What she say? How that song go? I want to see some cash. If you want to see some ass, I want to see some cash. If you want to see some ass, nigga. Okay? I'm just playing. Let me shut up. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Christian Keys. Okay, make it rain, trick. Make it rain, trick. What the fuck? Girl, shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Christian Keys. Shout out to who else? What's the nigga name? The white dude who just sued. Girl, what them dollars at? Okay, what them dollars at, nigga? What them dollars at? Hey, what them bitch? Drew Derek, that's his name. Shout out to Derek, baby. Okay. All right, y'all. Hey! Oh, oh, we just having a good time. We just kikiing, y'all. We just having a good time. We just having a good time. Oh, I need to go buy another straw. I ran out of straws, y'all. Well, the big straws I usually use. What's up, Kim Cruz? Baby, I'm dead ass serious, baby. Baby, I look up, I have baby, I been baby, y'all, girl, baby, y'all been looked up, and I have me a cute little townhouse. Y'all be like, girl, where he get this money from? Girl, stay out my business. You ain't playing. You ain't playing cream. Okay, thank you, feel good, baby. I been bought me a cute little townhouse for about $350,000. Girl, did her up. Y'all be like, girl, where he get this money from? Girl, get out of my motherfucking business. Bitch, I'm grown. I don't ask y'all nothing about y'all's. Girl, don't ask me nothing about. Gonna ask me nothing about how. Okay, don't ask me nothing about how I bought this townhouse. Okay, girl, he must. Girl, you know the girl start counting your money. Girl, he ain't got. Girl, he ain't got number 40,000 subscribers. Girl, how he get that house and where that car come? You know the girl. Bitch. Rodney, you smile too hard for that 100,000. Okay, for that 100,000. Thank you, Diamond. Girl, the people start counting your money, honey. You know how we do over here, baby. Girl, he ain't got number 40,000 subscribers. Girl, where he get that money from for that townhouse and that brand new 20, that brand new 25, 20, that 2025 girl Mercedes. Girl, I know he ain't doing. Girl, ain't that many people watching this channel now. Baby, the girls start counting your money, honey. They'll start counting, baby. I don't know what happened, but he sure ain't in that apartment no more. Oh girl, oh girl, oh girl, oh girl, oh girl. Stay out of my goddamn business, baby. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, in the algorithm, okay, baby. Yes, God. Right. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's go ahead and talk about Miss Porsha. Baby. So Porsha says she was paying child support for two of Simon's sons while he was detained in ICE custody. Oh, baby. Yes, girl. Girl. Yes. Who was that? Girl. Yes. I was over here, girl, peeling my lip, and girl, peel some skin off, and girl, fuck my whole lip up. So it's a little red. It's not necessarily bleeding, but it's a little red. Mm-hmm. Um, but other than that, girl, we all right. So Porsha was over there paying Simon's child support, and let's go ahead and take a quick listen to what Porsha had to say. Any other expenses that you've covered of his that were ordered? Yes, I paid his child support for his two sons. And I also paid maintenance for the house. So that's outside of utilities as well. Why did you choose to do that? Well, I really got concerned being that Simon was still detained when it comes to his child support. I'm still married to him at the end of the day, and I just really felt it was unfortunate that they
weren't getting any help. The mother had reached out to my assistant and she was concerned, and she wanted a couple things from the house, but she sounded really concerned. So when I spoke to her, she made me aware that it had not been paid, and so I paid it for child support.
Let me just say this. I don't know the law as it pertains to child support. I know it differs from state to, it can differ from state to state. Um, I saw a lot of people praising Porsha for stepping up to the plate and paying the child support. I always thought that if push came to shove and say your husband got behind on his child support, if you're legally his wife, then they could get the money from you. Now, I know that that may not necessarily be true everywhere. I, I, I personally knew someone. I personally knew someone who was married, and again, it could be different in different places. And her husband got behind on his child support, and she had to pay it, his wife. I personally know somebody. Now, again, I can't speak for everybody all around the world, but I personally knew someone who had to pay her husband's child support. Porsha, y'all will never get me to understand the way that Porsha moves. That's a good question. I can't remember if her checks were garnished or she had to pay. That's a good question. I'll rephrase it this way. She was paying his child support. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know if she had to pay or if her checks were automatically garnished, but I do know for a fact that she was paying his child support. And this ain't nobody who was sitting over there on hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hello? Oh, you talking about Porsha? Oh no, Porsha. Oh, are you talking about Porsha? Oh yeah, Porsha check wasn't garnished. No, I thought you was talking about my friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, in Porsha's situation, the baby mama reached out. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said. No, she voluntarily paid. The wife, not the wife, his baby mama reached out and she paid it. But no, they didn't. They didn't. She wasn't like forced to at the time she paid it. Her check wasn't garnished. It was just the wife reached out, and then Porsha just helped because legally, I guess she's still not. I guess legally, she is his wife. Oh, okay. And you know what's so crazy? Can I say something? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Simon, Simon left Portia's daughter on red. Porsha said that she got in contact with Simon because Pilar was asking about Simon. And when she reached out to Simon, he didn't even respond. And Porsha is paying his child support. Baby, baby, I can't make this shit up. Y'all heard what the fuck I just said? She said on this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta that her daughter was asking for Pop Pop. And she said she reached out to Pop Pop and he did not respond. Thank you, Hiru. And she's over there paying his child support. She said, what she call him, Pop Pop or Pow Pow? Was it Pop Pop or Pow Pow? I said Pow Pow, baby. Porsha quit her jobs, baby. Porsha, y'all ain't gonna never win the Porsha is smart. Y'all ain't gonna never win the Porsha learned her lesson. Porsha quit her jobs to be a stay-at-home wife for an undocumented alleged scammer who just got deported, and the marriage only lasted 15 months. Let me ask y'all a question because the people are online, and I asked this the other day. The people are online saying that after taxes, Porsha was bringing home $650,000. After taxes, Porsha was bringing home $750,000. I saw somebody say Porsha was bringing home $450,000. I do not believe for a millisecond that if Porsha's salary was $2 million, y'all ain't gonna get me to believe that Porsha was paying $1.3 million in taxes. If Porsha's salary was $2 million, y'all want me to believe that Porsha was paying 1.34, 1.5. Girl, let me tell y'all something. I'm not rich. I don't know how the rich do. I do know they're supposed to pay more taxes, but y'all don't think, girl, let's just call a thing a thing. Do y'all really think that these millionaires are not trying to make sure they can find every corner they can cut to keep as much of their money as they possibly can? Bitch, if your salary was $2 million, would you be trying to pay all your taxes? Or would you be trying to make sure your accountant girl can make sure that child, you make sure you try to cut, you try to make, bitch, pay my shit, but make sure whatever cut I can get, girl, get as much money as my shit back as you can. Y'all are down to the internet trying to make sense out of Porsha quitting her job by trying to make it seem as though she was only bringing home $600,000, $700,000, because in your head you want to make sense of why she quit her job. Porsha's salary wasn't $2 million, and she was paying more than half of that in taxes. Girl, I can almost guarantee you Porsha was still bringing home after taxes over $1 million. Y'all think Porsha paying half of her salary in taxes? Do you pay half of your salary in taxes? Even though I know it's different for the rich because they're supposed to pay more. They're supposed to. Girl, did Donald Trump pay more? Okay, bitch. Did Donald Trump pay more? Be very clear. They girl, did he pay any right? Girl, did he pay any right? All I'm saying is y'all cannot make it make sense of why Porsha quit her job. So now y'all are trying to make it seem as though, oh, she wasn't, even after taxes, she didn't bring home that much. No, 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 no. Porsha literally quit her job because she wanted to be the Maserati lady, just to turn around and Simon be in the hole. I know y'all remember this story. The private jet that she was flying around in. Y'all don't remember the article that came out that Simon owed those people damn near $1 million? Y'all don't remember that? It's all online. I'm done with it. Nobody, it ain't gonna ever make sense of Porsha quitting her job. And can we just talk about the job just for a second? Then I'm gonna move on because I want to talk about Kenya. Those ladies go through a lot on that show, but we're not gonna sit here and act like a check of $2 million. You're being well compensated. You got the bitches on Love and Hip Hop who ain't making nowhere near as much as that. Them hoes had to start OnlyFans pages when the when the pandemic hit. You had Safari, Erica, all of them running down to OnlyFans. Okay, I said you ain't seen nobody from Bravo down to the OnlyFans. Girl, they over there on VH1 MTV. Girl, fighting every other day. Girl, getting their head busted. Girl, running around cars for a little bit of change. So we're not gonna sit here and act like Porsha and some of the other girls making $2 million. Girl, they're not being well compensated for the stress that they probably go through on that show. That's a nice check. That's a nice check. And we're not going to act like Porsha and all the other girls. Girl, you film for probably 4 months. Let's just break the shit down. Girl, you probably filmed for 4 months. After that, you're done. Girl. Then, when it's time for the season to come out, you might have to fly around the United States. You might have to go to New York, LA, right, to do promo. You might have to go to Good Morning America, The View, some of the late night talk shows, because now it's time to promote the new. I'm about to jump in bed, but just popping to say, hey, cousin, drag her. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. So then you fly around for a couple of weeks, right? Because now you have to promote the show. Good Morning America, Today's Show, live with, Kelly and whatever her husband's name is. Go to The View, Go to the Real, whatever the shows. I think the Real is off, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Do a couple of interviews down at Angela Yee. Go to the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you go back home, do a couple of interviews in your living room with some of the YouTubers, do a couple of interviews, via StreamYard, through Zoom StreamYard with some of the people, with some of the folks over at people.com. Make a couple of appearances at Watch What Happens Live throughout the season. Y'all get where I'm going with this? So for Porsha to give that up, and she was making that amount of money because she wanted to be the Maserati lady to a undocumented alleged scammer, I think it just does not sound smart. And she also let it be known that she let her businesses fall to the wayside. She said this season that Pampered by Porsha, she said due to her duties as a wife, basically, she kind of let the business kind of fall to the side. So she gave up Real Housewives of Atlanta. She gave up Dish Nation. She let her Sheets line kind of fall to the side just for her to have to run back, try to make sure the sheet line is doing decent. Girl, you said like it doesn't make sense. It is what it is. That's y'all, girl. It ain't gonna ever make sense to me at all, at all, at all. Like I said, and I'm trying to give her a bone just a little bit. If Porsha was gonna quit her job, at least she should have told Simon to pay her what she would be making at her job that she's about to quit. And I'm trying to give her a little bit with that. That's, girl, Simon probably wasn't even paying Porsha a quarter of what she was making once you probably add all of her businesses, her streams of income together. Girl, you should at least told the motherfucker, you got to give me at least $200,000 a month. If you want me to be the stay-at-home wife and have the food cooked and all that shit when you get home, you're going to have to pay me at least $200,000 a month. Other than that, girl, I can't do nothing with this 30, baby. I can't do nothing with this 30. I was already making this, and this. So if you can't match it, then girl, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I gotta go shoot. I gotta go film. I'll talk to you later. Girl. All right, so this is Kenya, y'all. Baby. So Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore hair care. So Kenya is down to YouTube. To me, I think Kenya is doing a great job. I'm not saying this just because I love Kenya. I have been saying for years that Kenya should have been down to YouTube. Kenya has a great personality, but she's doing a good job. I think that she really is doing good with her channel so far. But she's down to YouTube. It's sad it took her. Girl, let me shut up, girl. I was about to start reading my sister. I'm gonna leave it alone, girl. I was about to start reading. But she's down to YouTube. And she has a good personality. She really does. She's down to YouTube, and she basically talked about Shamia and Porsha's friendship. I said, baby, Kenya getting her lick back at Porsha. That's what it is. Kenya said, okay, since you want to run down to YouTube, since you want to run down to the internet and tell those people that Bang Bang was underage, then I'm gonna come out and tell them what you really said about your best friend on camera. Girl. So this is some of what Kenya had to say.
You never know what's going on, but let's take a closer look at what's happening now on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So one of the biggest storylines right now is Porsha and Shamia. They have been friends forever. Obviously, I've known of Shamia since Shamia was first on the show. I remember kicking Shamia, off of my boat when I was, on the show because she was sticking so closely with Porsha, and Porsha and I were falling out. But Shami and I have gone back and forth plenty of times, at least several times that I know of, because of her rocky relationship with Porsha. Now, a lot of you guys may not know, I've actually had a conversation with Shamia a long time ago. And that was when Porsha and I were not on the best terms, and we're cool now. But this was when Porsha and I.
Baby, stop right there. Y'all heard, can you spill that tea? I don't know if she did that intentionally, but girl, did y'all hear her just say that when she wasn't cool with Porsha, she had a conversation with Shamia? Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff. I don't think Shamia is innocent. I do think the majority of the friendship, lack of friendship falls on Porsha, but Shamia be having like, even though I felt though Shamia probably didn't say anything negative about Porsha with Angela and Drew, it doesn't take away from the fact that she still had conversations with Angela and Drew. And I've been listening to what the people say. Did y'all hear what Shamia said? I forgot what episode it was, that most of the time they bring it up. So that means that you have brought up Porsha sometimes. Because Shamia used the word most. I remember it. And I caught it. I said, oh, so Shamia, you do talk about Porsha sometimes. Because you just said most of the time. You didn't say all of the time. You said most. And now we have Kenya coming out basically saying that I'm cool with Porsha now. She said she did a great girl. Girl, you don't give a fuck about Porsha. Girl, but anyway, girl, she said, I'm cool with Porsha now. But when I was talking to when we wasn't cool, me and Shamia had a conversation.
We're not cool. Everything that I know about their friendship, I'll just tell you. I never felt that Porsha was supportive of her being on Housewives. They had asked Shamia to be on Housewives as a housewife years ago. And Shamia refused to do it or could not do it. I'm not really clear about the details, but in any event, she couldn't do it. She didn't do it. She did not accept the offer to be a housewife or to interview to be a housewife. And I remember a specific conversation being filmed where Shamia brought up something. Maybe it was her wedding. Maybe it was Porsha not being supportive of her. But I remember Porsha saying something to the effect of, why are you doing this? Why are you over here? Why are you doing this? Do you need the money that bad? And I think Shamia was like shocked, like, what, where is she going with this? And the gist of the conversation was, can't you just let me have this and you go over and do what you need to do? But this is my platform. You need to go and either be my support system or go away. That was the gist of the conversation. Now, I've been on that show, was on that show, still employed, not on the show currently, but for 12 years.
Y'all heard she threw that in there? She said she's still employed. She said she's still employed with Bravo. She's still employed. That's what she said.
I've seen and heard a lot. I've never lied on anybody. Never. Y'all know that. I just remember thinking, is that a friendship or a relationship of convenience? Because a friendship, you cheer your friends on no matter what. And I just remember this saying that Oprah said before, like, if you have a friend that even shows you a hint of them not wanting you to succeed or climb the rung in a ladder, they are not your friend.
I believe that.
I strongly believe that. If I don't have a girlfriend that's on the sidelines and me like, go girl, you better do that. What can I do for you? I'm going to call the producers. I'm going to call the network. I'm going to do everything I can. I need you by my side. I've done that before for a friend of mine, to the point where I'm putting my own job in jeopardy because I'm like, y'all should look at this girl. She is dynamic. She is beautiful. She is a housewife.
I think that too. I remember Oprah talking about that with Gail, and what's that white lady, the rich white lady, Bill Gates' ex-wife. She was talking about a situation with some friends.
One you're looking for, and you're overlooking her and going so far out of my way, people were like, what is going on? What is the situation with you and this friend? Because she was somebody I truly cared about. She's my friend, and I believe she would be good in that role. However, that's not what I see with Shamia and Porsha. What I see is jealousy. What I see is somebody putting their foot on somebody's neck and saying, you stay down there. I want to be the queen of this. You go find your own thing, which is basically what she said. I mean, I think we already know what that is. It's not a friend. Anyways, no friend I would want to have. So can two besties survive the same bag, same spotlight, and the same screen time? Or is it a matter of just time for it to blow up? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember, I am always going to tell you the true tea. I'm not going to lie on anybody. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just telling the honest truth. So you tell me what you think. It's
That's what Kenya had to say. That's what Kenya had to say. And I believe her. I mean, Kenya didn't even have to come out and say this because in my head, I've already determined a long time ago that Porsha wasn't Shamia's friend. Do I think that Shamia is a perfect friend? Absolutely not. Do I think that Shamia has done some things? I absolutely do. Nobody is a perfect friend. But when I look at the two, I think that Porsha has done more damage in their friendship than probably Shamia has. I honestly do believe that. And that's a mess. That's a mess. And now, girl, you got Porsha over there, girl, paying a nigga's child support. Oh, girl. girl, you walked in that lady's house and walked out with her husband, her Hennessy, and some child support payments. Oh, she walked in that lady's house and walked out with her husband, Hennessy, and some motherfucking past due child support payment bills, baby. That's what your ass get. That's what your ass get. Now you paying a nigga child support. Okay. Now you over there stuck paying a nigga child support because his ass was snatched up by ICE. His ass was snatched up by ICE, and girl, you was over there paying that nigga child support to some kids who you probably ain't never seen before. Bitch, Porsha ain't never even seen them motherfucking kids. You know, Porsha probably seen them kids once or twice. I mean, girl, let's just call a thing a thing. Girl, Porsha was married to the nigga for 15 months. How long were they together before they got married? What, 5 or 6 months? How many times you really think Porsha saw them goddamn kids? Okay? Porsha paying child support to some kids. She don't even remember their motherfucking face. I guarantee you, if Porsha was at the Lennox Mall or at Publix, she would probably walk right past them kids, wouldn't know who they were. Ooh, wait. If your good friend with zero YouTube experience starts a channel and suddenly surpasses you, how would you feel? Porsha's feelings may not be nice, but common. I won't feel any type of way. I won't feel no type of way. That's not how I move. I think if that's how a person feels, that's not your friend. I've tried to convince plenty of my friends to come down to YouTube. I've tried to convince my sister. And I'll just say this much. I'm not gonna say all that, but no, I won't feel any type of way. No. that means you're jealous of your friend. That to me, that's like literally the definition of jealousy. like that's like jealous. Like you're jealous of your friends. I mean, I don't know how else to put. Like that's literally like the definition of jealousy. I wouldn't. That's not how I operate. Let me say something. I'm not gonna say all that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. But some people don't like people. Um, some people don't like to share the spotlight. And to me, the people who probably move that way are the people who are used to probably not having anything. Does that make sense? Not necessarily every scenario, because some people are just like that. But Porsha probably felt that way because this was Porsha's first time probably feeling like I have something. So no one is going to come into my space and take what I feel is mine. I don't know. I just don't I don't know how you are that way with your friend. I could see if it was a random off the street. You don't owe a random off the street nothing. You know what I'm saying? But like my friend though, like my friend, y'all don't even know how many times I've tried to convince my friends to start a YouTube. And they're like, What's up, Diva? And they're like, I've tried to convince my sister. She's like, It is what it is. I think that's what it is. Porsha want to be the only star. I really think that's what it is. But I think that when you act that way with your friends, I think that's something completely different. I would never act that way with my friends. Ever. Because what you doing ain't got nothing to do with me. The only way Porsha would feel some type of way is if she felt threatened by Shamia. And girl, why would you feel threatened by your friend? If you really feel like you the queen of RHOA, then Shamia coming on ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I always say that. What's for you is for you. And I when I come down here and I tell y'all that what's for me is for me and what's for you is for you, girl, I really do believe that. Like what's for me is for me, and can't nobody do nothing about it. What's for me is gonna always be for me, and it ain't nothing nobody can do about it. And what's for you is for you, and I can't do nothing about that. So I think that once you start to bring friends into the mix, I don't know how you could feel that way about a friend. I just don't. I honestly really don't. Because I don't feel that way about my friends. So if I had a friend that came down to YouTube and I looked up and within a year they had 500,000 subscribers, girl, hooray, hooray, hurrah, hurrah. Girl, let's go out for drinks. Bitch, you paying. You making all the money. Let's go, so stop. So let's go. Let's go out for drinks. Girl, I don't move like that. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. That's not. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how. Like, I don't even. Like, I don't like. I don't really want to talk about like because I'm not like. I don't really talk about. I really try not to talk about my friendships like in detail on here. I tap 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 tap. But I don't be jealous of my friends, girl. Girl, I remember one time I came down here. I was like, girl, I look at my best friend. Remember, I used to always say I look at my best friend as Molly and I'm Issa. I said I look at my best friend like Oprah and I'm Gail. Girl, the girls who've been watching my channel, they know I've said that stuff before. Girl, I don't be jealous of her. Girl, you can't be jealous of your friends, girl. You need to be happy for your friends. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a friend who would be great on the platform, girl, why not try and bring your friend on the platform? You know what I'm saying? Like if I was on, what's up, Brittany? There go Brittany in the. What's up, Brittany? There go Brittany, y'all. Y'all make sure some people don't know who Brittany is. Brittany is one of my good friends. Brittany is in the building, y'all. Girl, I'm surprised she even on him. But yeah, you can't be jealous of your friends. You really can't. You really can't. But yeah, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know, I think Shamia and Porsha can be all right. I don't know though. Let me stop lying. I don't know because Porsha, she don't like to. She's not gonna be honest with the friendship. I don't. I don't. No, Christy. So you don't think Shamia is just? I don't think so. I haven't really seen Shamia move in a way that was screamed that she's jealous of Porsha. I haven't seen it. But maybe she has. And again, I just didn't catch it. You know what I'm saying? So just because I don't see it doesn't mean that it ain't happening. But I don't remember a time of me seeing Shamia and it gave that she was jealous of Porsha. I don't recall. I can't remember a time. But again, it's been times where I've watched reality TV and some people have to point out stuff like you didn't see so and so. I'm like, God, I didn't see that. One time it happened on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all know, I go with Kimmy is my girl, and on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and it was a couple of people who were like, Kimmy did X, Y, and Z. I was like, girl, what? And I went back and watched. I was like, oh. So sometimes when you like somebody, sometimes you might not catch things that other people catch. I think that's when your biases kick in, right? And then when you don't like somebody, you catch everything they fucking do. Okay. Okay, be very clear. Okay. But if you don't like somebody, you catch everything they do. Okay. Angela clocked her. Shamia is playing the long game. Fame is a hell of a drug. Check speak on the future of Shamia. You know what's so crazy, Christy? I heard when Angela said that and I didn't agree. I didn't agree. And I'm going to tell y'all why I didn't agree with what Angela said. This is why I didn't agree. Because Shamia could have had a peach a long time ago. There are people online that don't want to believe. Shamia, from what I understand, was offered a peach when Phaedra got fired. Now, maybe she couldn't have snatched the peach because of Gerald, right? whatever reason, Shamia didn't get the peach. But I think the thing that people are not seeing with Angela, if we're going to be honest, Angela really started all this shit with Porsha and Shamia on the show this season. The way that Angela is presenting it is if like she used the show to get on this season and she's using Porsha as a storyline. Well, no, because Shamia has already been on the show. And Shamia was already offered a peach. East Coast Third Shifters appreciate you, cuz. Thank you, Shay. Shamia was already offered a peach. And if we're going to be honest, Shamia didn't need Porsha to gain access to the show. Shamia could have came on the show through Candy. You see what I'm saying? Because Candy has also said that she screamed to the powers at Bravo, y'all need to get Shamia, y'all need to get Shamia, y'all need to get Shamia. So Candy, Burris, has been very vocal about her always being a cheerleader for Shamia to be a housewife. So I think that for Angela to say that Shamia's playing the long game as if Shamia waited until this season, I guess, to create some beef with Porsha, when the fact of the matter is Angela started that shit. Be very clear. I'm not mad at Angela, but what Angela did was get her lick back because she was pissed off that Shamia laughed at Porsha for Porsha saying she was going to fuck Charles. Because what Angela said was 3 months ago. Girl, be very clear. Angela said 3 months ago, me, Drew, and Shamia went out. So you wait 3 months later because now you pissed off at Porsha for saying she's gonna fuck Charles, and you pissed off at Shamia for laughing. When 3 months ago you knew this. So now you bring it on camera. Before that, and even if you go back, Angela also brought up what Porsha did at the dinner when Angela was playing, when Shamia was playing her song, and Porsha was acting like a hater then. And when Angela brought it up, Shamia pretty much kind of shut it down. She was like, oh, no, it's okay. Y'all know how Shamia do. Oh, no, it's okay. So Angela, as much as she tried to act like she ain't tried to get in the middle of their friendship, you actually have. And that's okay. But Angela, you walked your ass into that studio and you brought up how Porsha showed up as a friend at the dinner when Shamia was playing her song. That was one time. Shamia kind of shut it down. The second time was after Porsha said she was going to fuck Charles. She brought up the conversation that her and Shamia and Drew had off camera when they went and had drinks 3 months ago. Girl, y'all better start clocking the tea. Everything I just said literally happened on this show. Yeah, I like Angela, but I also been clocking what Angela doing too. I like Angela. Angela is doing what needs to be done for the show. We've all said that Angela is the bone carrier. She's good at it, but she's the bone carrier. No, Angela is working, but it doesn't take away from the fact that she did what she did. You can be the bone carrier, you can be great at your job, but it still doesn't take away from like, I can come down here and be messy and they'd be like, oh, girl, you was being messy. Even if people laughed at it and liked how you delivered the content, you was low-key still being messy. You see what I'm saying? Like, Angela is still the bone carrier. That's it. But yeah, I don't think Shamia playing a long game. Shamia is this loyal. She was cool with Candy and the gang dragging Porsha, and she threw Porsha under the bus to Sheree. Shamia has money but no star power. Thank you, Isma. Ooh, I need another straw. Ooh. But yeah, it is what it is, though. It is what it. We already talked about Tyler. We talked about Tyler, baby. We done talked about everything. Child, I'm pretty much done. Angela does it in a way that might seem innocent, while Kenya was more direct, right? Baby. Have we found out why Kelly had an issue with Drew? Mm-mm. I can't even. That's. I think that was just some shit she wanted to start. Probably. That's the thing. But I can't remember. Like, if I can't remember the starting point of the beef, it's probably some bullshit. I don't think that Shamia is a victim per se, but I don't think that Shamia is a victim. But I'm not going to change my stance that based off of what we know about how Porsha has shown up in her friendship with Shamia, and Shamia has shown up in her friendship with Porsha. I think the shit that Shamia has done has been like child's play in comparison to Shamia. I mean, in comparison to Porsha. While yes, I do acknowledge, like I said in the video, like with Kenya. Did y'all hear when Kenya said that when she was pissed off at Porsha, she had a conversation with Shamia? I clocked that as soon as Kenya said. I said, "Oh, so Kenya." I mean, Kenya. Porsha has had a conversation with Kenya about Porsha, even on the show. I said, "Did y'all hear when Porsha? Did y'all hear when Shamia said that most of the time they bring it up? So that means that all of the time is not on the table. So it has been times you've brought up Porsha because you said most of the time." But I also believe that even though Shamia brings up Porsha sometimes, I don't believe that Shamia is just dragging Porsha. Is Shamia having a conversation about her friendship with Porsha? Absolutely. I do 100% believe that. But I don't think that Shamia is just dragging Porsha, if that makes sense what I'm saying. I do think there is a difference between having a conversation about your friend, which can still be deemed as talking about your friend, versus dragging your friend. I think it could be a difference. I think Shamia has conversations about her friendship with Porsha, but I think that we also have to acknowledge that those conversations about her friendship with Porsha come up because of how Porsha has shown up on our TV screen. When you really think about it, all the conversations that come up about Shamia and Porsha, it always goes back to how Porsha showed up in her friendship with Shamia. It's never how Shamia showed up in her friendship with Porsha. It's always how Porsha showed up in her friendship with Shamia. And now, because Shamia may have an opinion about how Porsha showed up, then it becomes this mess about, oh, Shamia talking about Porsha. That's all I'm saying. Ooh, baby, Kelly don't want to be Bang Bang friend no more. Thank you. Right, Kelly faking the phone. Um, that's right, exactly. You can't mistreat someone and expect them not to talk about it. And I feel like that's what people are doing with Shamia. Like, yes, I can acknowledge that Shamia has discussed Porsha, but I think that it is unfair for people to see what Porsha has done to Shamia and then think that Shamia won't have any type of opinion about how Porsha has shown up. I do think there is a difference between Shamia having an opinion and discussing certain ways that Porsha has shown up in her friendship versus just dragging the dog fuck out of Porsha with Angela and Drew. Because when you listen to what Angela said, she never once said that Shamia was just dragging Porsha. What she said was that Shamia basically expressed how she was hurt that Porsha didn't come to her wedding, and how sometimes she's scared to approach Porsha. That's what Angela said. She never once said that Shamia was down to the drinks with the margaritas and tequila and Casamigos, dragging the dog shit out of Porsha. Talking about Porsha to her castmates for years. Thank you, Isma. But I think we also have to say, why is she having a conversation about Porsha with her castmates? We could talk about Shamia having a conversation with her castmates, but why is she having the conversation? Because Porsha got on TV and let Phaedra say that Shamia was fucking Candy and Todd before she got married to Gerald. That's why they're having a conversation. They're having the conversation because Porsha says she's not flying to no Africa for no wedding. That's why they're having the conversation. The conversation is happening because of what Porsha has done to Shamia on TV. Am I lying? Am I lying? Am I lying? I'm just correct me if I'm wrong now, y'all. The conversations are happening because of how Porsha was showing up in the friendship with Shamia. Y'all don't remember all of this? Y'all don't remember all of that? Do y'all don't remember this? Girl. Anyways. Mm. Kelly. Kelly and Bang Bang. I don't think Kelly wants to be Bang Bang's friend, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. This is what I feel like is happening with Bang Bang and Britt. I don't think they were friends. I don't. I've been saying that. I don't think that Kelly and Bang Bang were friends. I think they became friends once they were cast for the show. Probably once they were going through the interview process. But I don't think they were friends. So I think what's happening now is Kelly is starting to realize, girl, she's a mess, right? But instead of Kelly probably being honest with Bang Bang, I guess she really can't be because we said we was friends. She just can't come out, girl. She just can't come out and say, girl, we became friends because of this show. Because I feel like that's what it was. And so now Kelly is starting to see Bang Bang is a mess. And now she wants to distance herself from Bang Bang. And so now it appears as though, like, didn't Shamia try to out Eva and she was married? Thank you, Isma. I don't know if she was married or not. No, she wasn't married. I don't remember. No, I don't think so. I don't remember. I do remember her asking something about did she fuck Missy Elliott. I can't remember honestly. But I feel like this was going on with Bang Bang, basically. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she was married at the time. But maybe she was engaged. I can't remember honest. I really can't remember. Oh girl, here come the Christians, girl. Girl, I know that's right. Girl, they leaving scriptures in the comment section. Baby, here come the saints, baby. I know that's right. When the saints come marching in, baby. When the saints come marching in. Oh, how I want to be in the number. When the saints go marching in, baby, they leaving scriptures, baby. Girl. They about to start saying, I'm going to hell, girl. Here they come. Girl, you going to hell. God can save your soul. Oh, wait. I just about reminding my business. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, but yeah, I think that Kelly and Bang Bang, girl, clearly the friendship is over. Yeah, that's all it is. I just don't think they were ever friends. And so now Kelly doesn't want to be Bang Bang's friend because she's a mess. But what can Kelly really say? Girl, we only really became friends because of the show. But that's what I think it is. So now because I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh girl, she's trying to be with Shamia and Porsha. You see what I'm saying? I was thinking that Kelly is just trying to be on with the other girls. And I was like, oh girl, you know what? She probably don't even like Bang Bang. She just started to realize, girl, she's tacky as hell. You tacky as hell. You know what I'm saying? So then it becomes about the style, right? Then it becomes about the glam squad. Now, that glam squad stuff, I completely 100% agree with. I don't know how some people don't get it. I mean, I guess some stuff I don't get either. So I guess it is what it is. But y'all, when you really think about it, in real life, how many people on these housewives shows use the same glam squad? I rarely see the girls. I just don't remember. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying on the housewife show. I'm not talking about outside of housewives. I'm talking about, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying on the housewives. How many of these people use the same glam team on a show? I don't ever remember seeing the girls bounce around from housewife to housewife on Atlanta. I don't remember seeing it. I don't remember Erica Jane, Dorit, Kyle, and the other girls having the same glam squad. I don't remember seeing it. I didn't start watching till season 10. When I see those girls go on trips, I see a different bitch in everybody's room doing somebody's makeup. And as we saw this season on Housewives with Drew and Porsha, Porsha said out of her mouth, the person who was doing Drew's makeup only had 15 minutes to do mine. Because it is going to be damn near impossible for us to be on the same show and have the same glam team. Because if we have to be at a restaurant at the same time and we live on two different sides of town, then how in the hell am I going to get my makeup done and my hair done and my clothes picked out and you also get your makeup done and hair? Like, it's not going to work. It's one thing for a makeup artist to do Kenya's makeup, Erica Jane's makeup, Gertie's makeup, Giselle's makeup. Those are 4 different women on 4 different shows, and they probably record or tape at 4 different times. But the same girls on the same show, it is eventually going to become this. If I were on a show and I was a woman, not even a woman, if I was a man and I did a whole bunch of makeup and stuff, I'm not sharing my glam with nobody. Not even my best friend. Now, if you are going through something, then you can use my glam probably for the day or for the week. But eventually, sister, you're going to have to get your own. Because if we both got to be on set at 5 o'clock, then how the fuck I'm going to get my makeup done and you get your makeup done too? Unless you're going to get your shit done in the morning. Because if I live on the north side and you live on the south side, and we both got to be at the restaurant at 5 o'clock, and I got to leave my house at 4, and we got the same makeup artist, are you going to get your makeup done in the morning? Because it's going to take them 2 hours to do my face. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, that's why I was like, girl, I was like, I ain't mad at Kelly with the whole glam stuff, because now we starting to bump heads because somebody going to be left out. Somebody going to look like a fool. In Porsha's case, the makeup artist only had 15 minutes to do my makeup. That's what Porsha said. Porsha said after he did Drew's makeup, he only had 15 minutes to do my face. And that's what's going to happen. That's why most of the time the girls have their own people on these shows. That's why I said, somebody going to look a mess. Britt didn't have a glam. From what I remember, I think I remember Kelly saying that Britt could use her glam squad while they were in Tennessee because she didn't have one. That's what I think I remember Kelly saying. I don't think that Kelly probably meant that, girl, we just gonna share a glam squad for the rest of the season. But I'm gonna be honest. nobody, nobody, no, nobody, no. It's not about owning. It's not about owning. But if I hired these people, I don't own them, but I am employing them. And due to me employing them, if we choose to end the business relationship for whatever reason, that's completely fine. If they want to leave, I can't make them stay because I don't own them. But what I'm saying is, if I employ you to do my makeup, I'm employing you to do my makeup. I'm not employing you to do me and Keisha's and James. Because if I start to look like a mess, because I feel like you're rushing through my face because you got to go over here and do theirs, then girl, we could just end the business relationship. That's what I'm saying. If I hire you to cut my hair, and because you're rushing to get through my hair because you want to get to the next person, and my lineup is pushed back or crooked, then we're going to have a problem. Because maybe you wouldn't be rushing to get through my hair and my lineup would be fucking crooked because you got to go over and cut James' hair. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So what we can do is I can just go find another barber and you can cut James' hair. Because you're not going to be fucking my head up and having my lineup crooked and pushed back because you're trying to go over and cut this nigga hair because we got to both be at set at 5 o'clock. That's it. That's really it. Yeah, that's really it. That's how I look at it. It ain't got nothing to do with not wanting to support my friends. You are my friend, so I'm not going to leave you out to hang to dry. But after today, we need to try to figure out who can do you, because there's no way that both of us can get worked on at the same time. You being my friend, I'm going to let you use the people that I pay to assist you in getting ready. However, we need to come together and find you your own team, because the people that I pay to get me ready can't just always stop from helping me to help you. Does that sound fucked up? 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 I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I feel like it sounds right too. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm paying them to do. Because can we also just say this? We're not gonna sit here because you know what happens. Because the first thing and this is exactly what's gonna happen. When the girls look a mess, we're gonna say, "Girl, you look a fucking mess." Don't we? We're not gonna play this game, y'all. We come down here every fucking season and talk about how Giselle look a mess. We come down here every season and talk about how Ashley look a mess. So it's not like we are not sitting on our couches acting like Andre Leon Talley and Anna Wintour and critiquing these girls and how they appear on our TV show or on the show. So I also can understand, based off of how we critique them, how they want to try and put their best foot forward. And I can't put my best foot forward if we share in the same team. We get down here every week and say, Shamia look a mess. I'm just saying, y'all. But anyways, girl, that ain't my problem. I ain't got no glam team. Hello. I think Shamia does have a stylist. I believe she does. I don't know. Shamia needs a glam, that stupid 27-piece Midtown wig. I feel like Shamia, I don't know Shamia. You know what? I don't know if Shamia had a stylist during the season. I don't know. But she has gotten a lot. I will say Shamia has gotten a lot better. I will say that. You know what? I don't know if she had one during the season. I don't know. I hope she didn't. I hope she didn't have a stylist. I would feel better knowing that she dressed herself. You know what I'm saying? Because if we find out Shamia had a stylist during the season, I would be like, girl. I hope Shamia dressed herself. I'm hoping Shamia dressed herself. It would be times, girl, like Shamia would have on a Chanel belt with a Louis Vuitton jacket. Girl, y'all be killing me with that. I'm just not a big fan of I'm just not a big fan of like logos, mixing logos, not labels, logos. Girl, if I see you with a YSL bag with a Louis Vuitton print and a big Chanel belt, girl, I start to get confused. I start to get confused. It's like when it's big logos. It's one thing for you. Let me tell you something. It's one thing for you to have some sunglasses and you might have Gucci on the side, right? Because can't nobody see that unless they just up on your face. It's one thing for you to have some sunglasses and it says Tom Ford on the side and you have a Chanel bag, right? Because can't nobody see the, does that make sense what I'm saying? It's one thing if it's small logos, but when it's big and plain and I can see it, like I can see the LV, I can see the big Chanel belt. Like, girl, you got a big ass Chanel belt. Like, that's always been my pet peeve when it comes to like. I know some people like to mix and match. That's always been my pet peeve when it comes to like. I mean, even though I don't own nothing Louis Vuitton. I mean, I don't own nothing Louis Vuitton or Chanel, but I'm just saying, when I look at the girls and boys on Instagram or TV, I'm just not a big fan of like mixing big ass logos. If it's a small print, that's one thing. But if it's big, if I can see it from across the room and I see you got on all these different designers, girl, I think it's tacky. I do. I don't like it. Yeah, it's be all monogram, girl. Okay. I'd be like, ooh, Shamia, girl. Louis Prada Gucci Pop. Okay. Anyways, child. Ooh, Way baby having some cute stuff. Anyways. But yeah, shout out to Shamia. Shout out to Porsha. Girl, they so high though. You know what I want me so bad? I can't wait until I become rich. Not necessarily even rich. I just need some. Since we're sharing, how would you feel about Shamia contracting Kelly? Wait, hold up. Since we're sharing, how would you feel about Shamia contracting Kelly and Brit Stylist too? I feel like it would be out of order. It's not gonna work. Because I'm gonna tell you this too. If you looked at Kelly and Britt, one, Britt did look better in her outfits. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Kelly never looked a mess, but Britt looked better in her outfits sometimes. But they also were dressed alike sometimes. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all ever notice that Britt and Kelly were dressed alike sometimes? So we on the same show with the same stylist, and we kind of dress the same. You know? But they never looked a mess though. I never thought Kelly looked a mess. I never thought Kelly looked a mess. I never looked at Kelly like she looked a mess. But it has been moments where I was like, oh girl, like I thought Britt was bad as fuck the other day when she had that like that goldish, brownish dress on with the hood. When Shamil was playing in her face at the table, remember? I thought Britt was bad. I thought she was the flyest one at the table. Yes, babe. I said, oh, hey, I know that's right. For real, the stylist will be trying to convince Shamia all season not to wear everything in her closet all at once. Girl, that's what I'm saying. Like, girl, and like the girl. People need to get out of. Listen, I'm not a fashionista, but people need to get out of. Just because it's designer doesn't mean that it's automatically fly. And just because you have it on doesn't mean that it's automatically gonna look good. You can have all the pieces in the world, but girl, if you don't know how to put them together, then girl, it's gonna look a mess. And that's Shamia's problem. Shamia got all the Louis, Gucci, Prada, pop them tags, but she don't know how to put it together. So then she ended up looking a mess. And it's like I remember that day she went to. I was like, girl, where are you going? It's like stuff that don't make sense. Like, and I'm gonna leave Shamia alone. Remember that day she went over to, I forgot whose house it was. She had on those big boots with like the fur. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It was those big white boots. She had on a Louis Vuitton jacket, a Chanel belt, some poom poom shorts, and then she had on those big white the knee high boots, but they was like the feather boots. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Remember she having those big white boots. And I didn't think the boots looked bad. Cause I remember, I think Marlo got those same boots. I was pissed off because I was like, where is Shamia going at? Shamia, where are you going at 1:00 in the evening? You see what I'm saying? It would be different if Shamia was going to the club, but Shamia, you're literally going over to, whose house was that? Whose house did they go to? They went to somebody's house. I can't remember. She got the same boots in black. She had them on a promo shoot. Yes. I forgot, whose house were they at? Whose house did they go? It was Kelly's house. Was it Kelly's house? Okay, Kelly's house. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the boots because I think Marlo has those same boots. But my whole issue is, girl, where the fuck is you going at 1:00 in the? You're like, girl, all you doing, like, you're literally just going over to Kelly's house. Why do you need on some knee-high boots with some feathers on them just to go? Like, it's stuff like that where I feel like sometimes the girls be doing too much. Girl, you're going over to your coworker's home. It's one thing for you to throw some cute heels on, you know, a cute little pump, Something like that. But like, Shamia, where is you going? Like, you just going to sit in this girl's house. Why do you have on some big feather boots? You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you act like y'all about to go to the club. I can see if you was about to go to the club, I might give you a pass, but bitch, you going to Kelly's house. Why do you have on knee-high feather boots and some poom-poom shorts? Girl, where is you going? Where is your scooter? Like, girl, where is your scooter? Like, where is you going? Girl. Okay. Girl, I'm just saying, girl. It be stuff like that where I just feel like sometimes the stuff don't make sense. I don't expect you to look a mess because you're on TV. This is the thing. We want to see the girls glammed up and dressed up. To me, to me, Dr. Wendy can appear to be overdressed, but Dr. Wendy be fly. Like when she went to lunch with Giselle, girl, she walked in with some big ass feather. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, girl, where is you going? I'm not gonna lie, you know, I was like, girl, where is you going, girl? Yeah, where is you going, Wendy, with these big ass feather sleeves on, girl? And then you got Giselle across the table with that girl PTA mom. Kelly tries to dress in couture. And ends up looking like the final boss in a video game. Shamia dressed like 2006. Britt confessional looks low key eat. Girl, that's what I'm saying. Britt, girl, I'm not gonna lie, girl. For the most part, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I don't really see it for Porsha, but you know, Porsha ain't gonna never really look a mess. Porsha and Britt probably like were the most consistent in their confessional looks. I never saw Britt. I don't think I ever recall Britt looking a mess in her confessionals. I don't. I feel like every confessional looked Britt. I was like, oh, that's cute. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, and I was the same way with Wendy. And then I do think, okay, now this is why I'm moving the line. This is why I'm moving the okay, you know what? You know what? I am moving the line. I take everything I just said back about Shamia. I take that back. Not everything. That's just I don't take everything back. Oh, I need to go, y'all, because I gotta do the Basketball Wives review. Oh, girl, I forgot all about this. Girl, we gotta hurry up and go. Baby, we gotta talk about Miss. We gotta talk about Jack. Girl, y'all gonna get pissed off at what I'm about to say. If y'all sensitive about Jackie, girl, don't watch the Basketball Wives review. If y'all sensitive about Chanel, don't watch the Basketball Wives review. But yeah, you know, I also said too about Wendy that I think Wendy be fly as hell, and I think that people want Wendy to tone it down, but I'm like, why? Because that's part of the reason why we watch the Housewives, because we want to see the girls who are fly as hell. If anything, they need to step it up. Wendy shouldn't have to step it down because she hanging around some girls who kind of basic when they dress. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Shamia just needs to get a better stylist. I don't think that Wendy needs to tone it down necessarily. I think the other girls need to kind of step it up. I will say this though, and I'm gonna be done. Chantel should have never been on that show, and I'm gonna leave it alone. Chantel should have never been on Basketball. Chantel should have never been on Basketball Wives, ever. Drew had the best confessional look this season to me. She was wearing that gold naked hair better than Porsha. Thank you to Hondio7. I don't think she needs to tone it down either. I think the other girls need to step it up. I think Giselle is tacky. I think Ashley is tacky. I think that Robin was tacky. Girl, I think the only one who tried to give us fashions was Wendy. She the only one. Did I call her Chanel? Oh, it's Chantel. I called the bitch Chanel. Call me for the girl. Girl, I was calling her Chanel. What's I calling her Chanel? Girl, what's the girl name? Chantel. I thought the girl name, I was calling the girl name Chanel. When I tell you I will fuck somebody's name up, girl, I call that girl Chanel. Chantel. That's her name, right? Chantel, not Chanel. Whatever her name is, Jackie's daughter. Okay. Yeah, I can remember your name. Girl, I will fuck somebody's name up, baby. Chantel. Chantel. Chantel should have never been on that show. Chantel should have never came on that show. I'm about to go. I'm about to go. This is all I'm gonna say. Cause like I said, girl, I got something for Jackie and I got something for Chantel. Jackie is an ain't shit mama, y'all. Sorry. Jackie's an ain't shit mama. This might not be the environment to try to hash out their differences, but Jackie's still an ain't shit mama. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess, girl. It's a mess, y'all. That when I said this episode was a complete mess, but I will say, girl, as much as I is as much as I am not going to forget what the other daughter said about Jackie, I'm not gonna forget what Chantel low key letting us know about. I think Kelly, Phaedra, Shamia, their dress is provocative with the intent to be sexy, but it's tacky and not for their age group. Okay, especially Girl, let me shut up. Thank you, Resney. I don't think Kelly ever looks a mess. It's been a couple of times I was like, oh, with Kelly, but I've never looked at Kelly and just said she look a mess. You know what I'm saying? Chantel shouldn't have been on the show because Chantel is not ready to be around Jackie in that capacity. I don't think Jackie gives a damn, if we're going to be honest. I think Chantel is still hurt from Jackie, and I think that she is not ready to be around Jackie. I think Jackie will be okay with Chantel being on the show. Clearly. Anyways, all right, y'all. So listen, I'm about to get up off of here. I am about to charge my phone and charge this microphone. And then as long as Chantel doesn't air her out, girl, did y'all low key catch it? Girl, I'm not gonna do the review right now. Did y'all low key catch it when Chantel said that? Baby. Chantel Chantel, girl, listen, I have been saying this since episode 1. How many times have I said this season of Basketball Wives? I said, oh, baby, Chantel don't like her mama. How many times have I said this season? I said, oh, Chantel don't like Jackie. She told Jackie something about I can air you out. I said, Chantel do not like Jackie, and I think that's okay. Girl. I said, baby, Chantel. Baby, she said at her out, baby. Chantel, but that's like Chantel want her lick back from Jackie because Jackie is an ain't shit mama. So Chantel wants her lick back at Jackie. Chantel is on the show to try to embarrass Jackie. Girl, I shouldn't even. Girl, we're gonna get into. Listen, we're gonna get into it in my review. But I think that's why Chantel is on the show. Chantel is on the show. She don't like her mama, which I don't have no issue with that. We're not gonna get into it, but I keep saying we're not gonna get into it, and I keep talking. Girl, this is how we get started. Chantel don't like Jackie, and I think that it is unfair, and I'm gonna leave it alone. See, this how a motherfucker end on here for 3 more hours. I'll just say this much. I think it is unfair for people to tell Chantel about her mama. Girl, that is not our mama, girl. We know Jackie for her works based off what her first daughter said. I think it's a different thing. Like, I don't think Chantel should be on the show. I don't. I've been asking y'all for the last few episodes, why is Chantel on my screen? Get her off my TV screen. I just want to remind you, Doug, the son, was on the show before with a lot of hair on his head. She was a nuisance to the son, too. I don't remember the son. I do not remember the son. That's why I was like, I swear I don't remember the son. Yeah, I just feel like Jackie is an ain't shit mama. Girl, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Girl, we sit here and we talk about the niggas being ain't shit. We ain't got no issues coming down here talking about the niggas ain't shit, the niggas ain't shit. Well, girl, I think we finally ran into another woman who might be an ain't shit mama. I think Jackie is one of those ain't shit mamas. I hate to say it that way. I'm team Jackie. Chantel is jealous of her mom. The NBA pushed the narrative that she chases Doug because Doug didn't cheat or disrespect his wife. Thank you, Isma. I don't think she's jealous of her mama. I don't think that. Yeah. But yeah, I've been asking y'all for the last 3-4 episodes, why is Chantel on my TV screen? Baby, get Chantel. I said get Chantel off my TV screen. Chantel, I don't know the girl. Girl, I don't call that girl Chanel. I don't call that girl Chanel. I don't call her Chantel, and then I don't call what I call that girl. I call her Chanel, Chantel, and what I call her? Chantel, Chanel, whatever I call her. Girl, I've been telling y'all, get that girl off my TV screen. But I think she's definitely on that TV to try and, baby, come on. There we go, Jenny. Chantel is getting revenge for childhood trauma, child. I think, girl. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think in this scenario, for me, I'm looking at both sides. I'm looking at how Jackie was this episode. And I'm also looking at how Chantel has been this whole season. And I have been saying since the get-go, Chantel acts like every time Jack is around, she gets on her fucking nerves. And then I said, girl, Chantel do not like Jackie. And then I said, girl, Chantel only deal with Jackie because that's her mama, because of the title. That's the only reason why she probably deals with Jackie, because that's my mama. You know how, girl, you know how some of y'all black people act. We just gonna call it for what it is. Girl, that's your mom. You gotta respect your mama, blah, 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 blah. You know how y'all do. I feel like Chantel is one of those black kids who feels like, well, that's my mama. But girl, you don't like your mama. And it's clear as day. So I don't know why you brought your ass to this show. Girl, you see what I'm saying? Like I feel like for me, I can look at both sides. I don't like Chantel on the show. I don't know why she's on the show. Jackie is an ain't shit mama. But Chantel, you coming to the show trying to figure out, girl, dealing with your childhood trauma that you ain't really dealt with ain't gonna help the relationship. I remember when I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Khloe was married to Lamar, she did mention Jackie as that wife nobody messes with. Baby, thank you, Resney. Hates her mom but wants her clout in her life. Thank you, Isma. I think Jackie spent her child rearing years chasing Doug from state to state and not raising her babies. That's the reason why they don't respect her. Thank you, your fine ass Annie. I think the same thing. I think the same thing. I said this stuff. I said that I believe that Jackie has always put Doug above everybody and everything. I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe that. 100%. Anyways, let me get off of here, y'all, and then we're gonna talk about the basketball wives, and we're gonna really get into the shit of the shit of the shit of the shit of the shit. Because baby, Chantel and Jackie is a mess. Oh, that explains why she kept saying my husband when Chantel said she's gonna call Doug. Girl, Chantel is a mess. Chantel is a mess, baby. I'm calling my daddy. Girl, I said, girl, what? Girl. Girl, she said she calling her father. I said, girl, what the fuck did she just say? I said, girl, get the fuck off my TV screen. You was just, girl, let me go. Girl, you was just, girl, y'all about to get me riled up, girl. You was just, girl. That's what I be saying, girl. Girl. You about to call your daddy. Yeah. Right. And you know what the gag was? The gag was she was so pissed off about being called a child, but you literally just said, I'm about to call my father. Like, girl, if that is not the golden example of a child, girl, well, some people tell me to call my mama. But girl, like that's why I was like, Chantel, maybe Chantel, Chantel, you gotta go. Chantel gotta go. I've been saying Chantel gotta go since episode 2. Where's Chantel bench warmer husband at? T. Okay, thank you, Isma. Y'all gonna get mad at what I'm about to. Girl, some of y'all, I can already tell y'all. Some of y'all who got husbands gonna get mad at what I'm gonna say when Chantel said what she said about that being her blood. That's what I'm saying. Girl, to me, I ain't got no dog in the fight. Let me just be very clear. I ain't got no dog in the fight. I ain't got no dog in the fight. I don't want Chantel on the show though. I will say that. I don't want Chantel on the show. I don't want Chantel on the show. But I ain't got no dog in the fight, but I don't want Chantel on the show. I'm not Team Jackie or Team Chantel. Even though Jackie made some good points this episode, I will say. Jackie made some good points. She did. She did. As much as I said Jackie is an ancient mama, Jackie made a lot of sick. Girl, let me shut up. She gonna hate Jackie more because the fans hate her. Girl, I feel like that's what it is too, because I don't see nobody saying anything positive about Chantel on the show. Everybody who I see has been saying, girl, Chantel need to go. I've been saying it. Girl, I probably started saying it episode 1, but I know I've been saying it since episode 2. Girl, get her off my TV screen. Girl, why is Chantel on my TV screen? Why is Chantel on my TV screen? Why is that girl on my TV screen? Baby, she got to go. All right, y'all. For real this time, I'm about to go because I need to do this review. And I will and I will see y'all probably, what time is it? It's 11:27. I will probably hopefully have the review up. Girl, the review probably gonna be The review probably gonna be an hour long if we're gonna be honest. I'm gonna try not to make it an hour long. It's really gonna be mostly about Jackie and Chantel. But I'll try to have the review about 2 o'clock because it's already 11:30. So I need to record it and do all that stuff. So yeah, I'll try to have the review about 2 a.m. So if you are up, or if it's not too late where you're at, then it'll be up definitely within the next couple of hours. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see y'all in just a little bit. Bye, y'all.